My parents spent $60,000 on my sister's dream wedding. My dad cried walking her down the aisle. My mom gave a tearful speech about how proud she was. The whole family was there, dressed to the nines, celebrating the perfect union. 1 year later, I got married. My parents refused to come. Not because they were sick, not because they couldn't afford to travel, they lived 20 minutes away. They refused to come because they didn't approve of my husband. At my sister's next family dinner, I showed up uninvited and told everyone exactly what kind of people our parents really are. My name is Jessica, I'm 29, and my sister Emma is 31. We grew up in a upper-middle-class family in Connecticut. My dad's a dentist, my mom's a real estate agent. They're the kind of people who care a lot about appearances, status, and what the neighbors think. Emma always played by their rules. She dated the right guys from the right families. She went to their alma mater. She became a lawyer just like they wanted. And when she got engaged to Preston, a corporate attorney from a wealthy family, our parents were thrilled. They threw them an engagement party that cost $8,000. They invited 150 people. My mom posted about it on Facebook 17 times. The wedding planning started immediately. My parents offered to pay for everything, and I mean everything. They set a budget of $60,000. Venue at a country club, designer dress, destination bachelorette party in Napa Valley. The works. I was Emma's maid of honor. I helped with everything, and I watched my parents pour money and love into every detail of that wedding. My dad got emotional looking at floral arrangements. My mom cried during the dress fitting. The wedding day was perfect. 200 guests, sit-down dinner, open bar, live band. My dad walked Emma down the aisle with tears streaming down his face. During the father-daughter dance, he whispered something to her and they both cried. My mom's toast was about how Emma had always made them proud. How Preston was the perfect addition to our family. How blessed they were to witness such a perfect match. I was happy for Emma. I really was. But there was this little voice in my head saying, "This will never be you," because I'd already met Marcus. I met Marcus 6 months before Emma's wedding. He was a teacher at an inner-city high school, working on his master's degree in education. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood in the Bronx, raised by a single mom who worked 2 jobs. He was the first person in his family to go to college. He was also the kindest, most genuine person I'd ever met. He volunteered at a youth center on weekends. He paid half his salary to help his mom with her mortgage. He read books to elementary school kids every Thursday after school. I fell in love with him immediately. I didn't tell my parents about him for 3 months. I knew they'd have opinions, and I wanted to be sure about us first. But eventually, I had to introduce them. I brought Marcus to Sunday dinner. I was nervous, but I thought maybe they'd see what I saw. Someone hardworking, educated, with a huge heart. The dinner was awkward from the start. My dad asked Marcus what his father did. Marcus said his dad wasn't in the picture. My dad's expression changed immediately. My mom asked where he went to school. Marcus said City University on a scholarship. My mom said, "Oh," in this tone that said everything. They asked what he did for a living. When he said teacher, my dad actually laughed. "That's a tough way to make a living. What's the salary for that these days? About 40,000. Marcus stayed polite. 42, actually. But I'm getting my master's, so that'll go up. After Marcus left, my parents sat me down. "Jessica, he seems nice, but is this serious?" My mom asked. "Yes," I said. "I love him." My dad sighed. "Sweetheart, you're 28 years old. You need to think about your future. A teacher's salary isn't going to give you the life you're used to." "I don't care about money," I said. "You say that now," my mom said. "But what about when you want to buy a house, have children, take vacations?" "His mother lives in the Bronx, Jessica. That's not the kind of family we envisioned for you." I was stunned. "You're judging him because of where he grew up?" "We're being realistic," my dad said. "You can do better." That was 8 months before Marcus proposed. Marcus proposed to me on a Tuesday night in his tiny apartment. He'd saved for 6 months to buy the ring. It wasn't huge, maybe half a carat, but it was perfect. He got down on one knee and said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Will you marry me?" I said yes immediately. I called my parents the next day, excited. "Mom, Dad, Marcus proposed. We're engaged." There was a long silence. Then my mom said, "Are you sure about this?" "Yes, I'm sure. I love him. Jessica, we need to talk about this in person. Come over tonight." I went over, still wearing my ring, still excited. Marcus offered to come with me, but I said no. I thought I could handle it. I was wrong. My parents sat me down in the living room like I was 16 and had gotten caught sneaking out. "We can't support this marriage," my dad said bluntly. I stared at them. "What?" "Marcus is a nice young man, but he's not right for you," my mom said. "He comes from nothing. He has no family connections, no financial stability, no prospects for a substantial career. You're going to struggle your entire life. He's getting his master's degree. I said, my voice shaking. He's going to be a principal someday. He's ambitious and hardworking and he's poor, Jessica, my dad interrupted. And he always will be. Teachers don't make money. His family can't help you. What happens when you have children and you're living paycheck to paycheck? I don't care, I said. I love him. Love doesn't pay the bills, my mom said coldly. We didn't raise you to settle for a high school teacher from the Bronx. I felt like I'd been slapped. Settle? Marcus is amazing. He's more genuine than any of the guys you wanted me to date. If you marry him, we won't be there, my dad said quietly. I thought I'd misheard. What? We can't stand up at a wedding and celebrate a marriage we don't believe in. If you go through with this, you're on your own. My mother nodded. We won't participate. We won't pay for anything. And we won't pretend to be happy about it. I left their house in tears. Marcus and I got married 6 months later. We had a small ceremony at a botanical garden. 50 people, our closest friends, his family, some cousins from my side who came despite my parents' disapproval. I bought my dress off the rack for $300. Marcus's mom made the cake. Our friend officiated. Cost us about $4,000 total, and it was the happiest day of my life. My parents didn't come. They didn't call. They didn't send a card. Nothing. Emma came, but she was uncomfortable the whole time. She kept saying, I'm sorry Mom and Dad aren't here. I tried to convince them. You didn't try hard enough, I said. At my wedding, I kept looking at the empty seats where my parents should have been. During the father-daughter dance, I danced with Marcus's uncle because I had no one else. I cried through the whole song. My mom posted on Facebook that same day. Not about my wedding. She posted photos from a garden party she'd attended. Like my wedding wasn't even happening. For 6 months after the wedding, I didn't speak to them. They didn't reach out. On holidays, they'd invite Emma and Preston but not us. When Emma sent me photos from Thanksgiving, I could see my empty chair at the table. Then Emma got pregnant. Suddenly, my parents were posting constantly about becoming grandparents. My mom threw Emma a $15,000 baby shower. I wasn't invited. That's when I decided I was done staying silent. Emma's baby shower was at my parents' house. I wasn't invited, but I showed up anyway. I walked in during the middle of my mom's toast about family and unconditional love. Everyone turned to stare at me. Jessica, my mom said, her face going pale. What are you doing here? I came to celebrate my sister, I said loudly. Since I wasn't invited. Again, the room went silent. I turned to face everyone. I want to tell you all about my parents. The ones giving this beautiful speech about family values. Jessica, this isn't the time, my dad warned. No, it's the perfect time, I said. See, my parents paid $60,000 for Emma's wedding. My dad cried walking her down the aisle. But when I got married, they refused to come. Not because they couldn't, they lived 20 minutes away. They refused because my husband is a teacher who grew up in the Bronx. Because he's not rich enough. Because his family isn't the right kind. People were murmuring. Some looked shocked. So while my dad was crying at Emma's wedding, he was telling me I wasn't allowed to marry the man I loved. While my mom was posting about how blessed she was telling me I was settling for someone beneath me. My mother started crying. You're twisting everything. Am I? I pulled out my phone. Because I have the text you sent me the day after I got married. Want me to read it? She went silent. I read it anyway. You made your choice. Don't expect us to fix things when it all falls apart. That's what you sent me on my honeymoon. Emma looked horrified. Mom, you said you sent her congratulations. I lied. My mom whispered. I left the baby shower. Emma called me that night, crying. I didn't know it was that bad, she said. I knew they didn't approve, but I didn't know they were that cruel. I'm so sorry. You could have stood up for me, I said. I know. I was wrong. I'm sorry. My parents tried calling me for weeks. I never answered. Finally, my dad left a voicemail. We're sorry we hurt you, but we still don't think Marcus is right for you. If you'd just reconsider. I deleted it before he finished. Marcus and I are celebrating our 1-year anniversary next month. We're happy, stable, and building a life together. He just got promoted to assistant principal. We're talking about buying a house. My parents aren't part of that life. They made their choice when they skipped my wedding. They chose status over their daughter. And I chose love over their approval. I'm the one who got it right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more emotional true stories every day.